That morning, Claire, a graceful 62-year-old woman, stepped into the salon with a hesitant posture. She didn't look at the mirror. Her fingers gently pushed the thinning strands of hair to the sides. And then, in a quiet, sorrowful voice, she said, "I used to have hair so thick I couldn't even tie it up. Now I'm afraid of what the lights might reveal on my scalp." That sentence wasn't just about her hair. It was the quiet heartbreak shared by so many women over 50, women who were once confident, radiant until one day they suddenly noticed their hair had thinned. And with it came the aching feeling of losing a part of themselves. Thinning hair isn't just about appearance. It's about feeling like you're slowly drifting away from who you once were, little by little, day by day. And that's why you should pause, take a breath, and stay with this video until the end. Because I'm not just talking about 4 hairstyles. I'm talking about 4 moments of transformation. About 4 real women who moved beyond shame and found a new light in the mirror. If you've ever hesitated because of thinning hair, I invite you to stay. Perhaps one of these hairstyles will be the key, not to going back to who you used to be, but to becoming a more radiant, free, and deeply beautiful version of yourself. And don't forget to like, share your feelings in the comments, and subscribe to Timeless Women Over 50, a space where mature beauty is truly cherished. Now let's begin. Many women over 50 have shared that what truly shakes their confidence isn't wrinkles or weight gain. It's the thinning hair right at the crown. Under harsh lighting or when the wind sweeps through, the exposed scalp can make them feel revealed. Not just physically, but emotionally, like their hidden insecurities are suddenly out in the open. Some choose to wear hats. Others dab mascara onto their scalp each morning. But the truth is, you don't need to cover it up. You just need a haircut that speaks on behalf of what feels like it's missing. And that's exactly what the jaw-length bob does. A clean, even cut, no external layers, creates a solid wall of hair that draws the eye away from the crown and gently frames the face. When every strand ends at the same point, it visually doubles the thickness, no matter how fine your actual hair may be. Within that outer fullness, stylists use a soft internal layering technique, adding movement and lightness from the inside out without compromising the shape. And if a salon isn't in your schedule, here's how to achieve it at home. Apply a light volumizing mousse to the roots while your hair is still damp. Blow dry with a round brush, curling inward while lifting the crown area. Finish with a soft hold hairspray, enough to keep the shape but still allow natural flow. For color, consider soft highlights like caramel or honey beige, just 1 or 2 shades lighter than your base. This gentle transition adds depth and creates the illusion of thicker hair in the most elegant way. Now let me tell you about Mona, 66. She used to apply mascara every single day to hide her visible scalp. But when she first walked into the salon, she spoke more with silence than with words. We chose a face-hugging bob with strong, structured ends, paired with a warm caramel tone. 1 week later, she came back not for a touch-up, but with a quiet smile and these words, "I don't need to cover anything anymore. I just need to walk with confidence." And in that moment, I understood. This hairstyle didn't just make Mona's hair look fuller. It helped her reconnect with the woman inside. Not everyone has thinning hair in just one spot. Some women, when they look in the mirror, see it scattered in unpredictable places, around the temples, along the hairline, down the part, or gently revealing itself near the ears. These patches aren't large enough to call for a wig, yet far too noticeable to ignore. And so they often find themselves stuck, unsure of which hairstyle to choose or even where to begin. Tie the hair back and the temples are exposed. Let it down and the part becomes glaringly visible. It can feel as though the hair is betraying them bit by bit, prompting them to slowly retreat from their own reflection. But the solution for this kind of scattered thinning isn't to cover everything. It's to guide the eye gently and cleverly toward what you do want to highlight. For this cut, stylists often turn to a technique called invisible layering, subtle layers hidden inside the hair that add inner volume and movement. Meanwhile, the outer edge remains full, clean, and uniform, maintaining a structured silhouette. The front sections are kept slightly longer, gently hugging the face. This creates a soft shadow effect over areas that may feel exposed, like the temples or forehead. A wispy side-swept bang or delicate fringe can also help soften the forehead and draw attention toward the eyes, where your true vibrance lies, not the hairline. Here's how you can style it at home. Apply a root lifting spray directly to the sparse or thinning zones. Blow dry the hair in the opposite direction of its natural growth to create hidden volume at the base. Use a small amount of texturizing spray through the mid-lengths and ends, giving the illusion of movement, more than you might actually have. When it comes to color, I often suggest soft, warm neutrals like chestnut brown, deep honey, or subtle copper highlights. Avoid shades that are too bright or too high contrast, as they may unintentionally accentuate areas of thinning when caught in certain lighting. I remember a woman named Dolores, age 60. She came into the salon one early summer day wearing a thick knit hat pulled all the way down. When I gently asked, she quietly replied, "I just don't know where to hide my hair anymore." We chose a cut with soft internal layers and a strong outer line. Side bangs and face-framing waves gently curled inward, softly veiling the temple area. When she stepped out of the salon, Dolores no longer needed that knit hat. She smiled, squinting into the late afternoon sun, and said, "I don't need to hide my head anymore. Now I choose the light I want to shine in." Aging doesn't just thin the hair, it subtly shifts the contours of the face. The cheeks begin to hollow, the jawline softens, the chin loses definition, and even after a full night's sleep, the eyes can still appear weary. Many women walk into the salon not because they want a dramatic makeover. They just want to find a glimpse of themselves again, the version that once lit up the mirror. But thin, unruly, uncooperative hair can make them feel like the harder they try, the more lost they become. One woman once told me, "I don't look old, I look like I've cried all night." That's when the face-lifting cut becomes a gentle and graceful choice, like a quiet hug around the face. This style typically sits at shoulder length or just grazing the collarbone, long enough to offer softness, but not so long that the ends appear wispy or weak. The layering begins at the level of the ears, with upward angles that lift the face frame, much like applying highlighter to enhance the cheekbones. The front sections, especially around the cheeks and jaw, are styled slightly outward to create visual openness and lift. As for the bangs or shorter face-framing strands, they're gently feathered so they fall like soft sunlight across the forehead, blurring fine lines and adding depth to the eyes. To enhance the youthful effect, consider adding soft highlights along the forehead and cheekbones, tones like pale beige, light honey, or creamy butter. This creates a subtle halo effect, illuminating the eye area and cheeks as if your face is naturally lit, no makeup needed. To maintain the shape, you can use a lightweight mousse on damp hair to help hold the silhouette. Blow dry with a round brush, directing the hair outward, especially at the cheeks and chin. Finish with a light serum or smoothing oil to prevent static and keep the natural shine and flow. And for a quick 5-minute glow-up, simply curl the ends outward using a flat iron. That small flip can instantly make the face look brighter, fuller, and more defined. I remember Ellen, 57, she had been avoiding all her class reunions, afraid her friends might see how much she had faded. In a soft voice, she confided, "I don't want anyone to see me right now. Honestly, I don't even want to see myself." We chose a shoulder-length cut, softly layered from the ears, with delicate highlights around her forehead and cheekbones. When she left the salon, Ellen didn't suddenly look 10 years younger, but what changed most was her eyes. They no longer looked away from the mirror. A week later, Ellen sent me a selfie with a short message. "It's not that I look younger, it's that I look like me again. And sometimes that's all we really need, to feel like ourselves again." Not every woman has the time to style her hair every morning. And not everyone has the skill or the patience for blow-drying, curling, teasing, or spraying it all just right. Many women over 50 have tried a new haircut that looked stunning the moment they left the salon. But by the next morning, the shape was gone, the part was exposed, and the ends stuck out all over the place. And with that came disappointment, frustration, and for some, tears alone in the car whispering, "Is my hair just not beautiful anymore?" The truth is, it wasn't their hair that failed them. The real issue. That style was never designed for how their hair actually grows and lives day to day. That's why we created the Fall Back in Love with Yourself cut. It's a style built entirely around your natural hair swirl, your real growth pattern, and your true daily habits. Instead of forcing the hair to behave, this cut flows with it, so even when left to air dry, it still looks intentional, effortless, and gently put together. The shape is tailored to suit your natural lines, your forehead, cheekbones, jawline, creating soft balance without demanding every strand fall into place. The ends are kept soft, not wispy thin, to avoid that sparse, stringy look. The inner layers are gently texturized to give flexibility and the illusion of fullness without making it fussy. If you have bangs, they're designed to suit your natural part, perhaps a wispy fringe, a soft side sweep, or even just a slanted front piece that falls exactly where you need the coverage most. As for color, go for gentle, natural tones like light chestnut, warm beige, or soft ash brown. These shades create a look of even density, are easy to maintain, and won't leave you chasing roots every few weeks. And the best part, you don't have to do much at all. Let your hair air dry after washing, it's perfectly fine. Occasionally scrunch it with your hands and a touch of mousse or soft wax to bring out a little lived-in texture. When you want to polish it up, just curl the ends outward once with a flat iron, 5 minutes max. I think of Joan, 65. She once told me almost in a whisper, "I'm afraid of the wind." It reveals everything I've been trying to hide. She used to battle her hair daily, freezing it in place with strong sprays, covering it with hats before stepping outside. But once she tried this haircut, shaped exactly the way her hair naturally falls, Joan stopped fighting with it. The next week when she returned to the salon, she smiled and said, "Now I hope there's wind, because my hair knows how to dance." That's when you know you've made peace with yourself. You don't need perfectly thick hair. You just need hair that feels honestly and beautifully yours. And if you've stayed with this video until now, then perhaps you already understand. Thinning hair has never been what makes you less beautiful. It's simply a different texture, softer, more delicate, but also deeper, more nuanced, a new way to tell the story of you. Because true beauty doesn't lie in the thickness of your hair. It lives in the way you choose to care for yourself. In each gentle cut, each lock of hair that frames a face. That's weathered seasons and only grown wiser. If there was a moment in this video that brought you peace, hold on to it, take that feeling with you to the salon, and gently ask, how can this style speak me? You don't have to hide anything. You just need a haircut that understands you, soft enough, subtle enough, to walk with you through this quiet rediscovery of who you are now. Your hair doesn't need to be thicker to be beautiful. It only needs to be loved, through the right choice, not to please anyone else, but so that each morning when you meet yourself in the mirror, you can smile and think, "This is me and I am enough." If this video touched something in you, please give it a like. Leave a few words in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to Timeless Women Over 50, a space where beauty has no age, only a quiet awakening and the freedom to be. Thank you for staying with me until the end. See you again, not with thicker hair, but with a gentler gaze and a heart full of confidence, reflected in the familiar face you've grown to love.